Hi everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. I really, really do. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. All that good stuff all helps us out. Disappointing. I think Rob signs it out very well. Disappointing. Very disappointing game yesterday. We were so excited, so enthused, so thinking this is our year. But 42 years of hurt never stopped me dreaming. There we go. And yes, there will be an amount of optimism as well as a bit of frustration. And if that annoys anyone, I do apologise. But as you know, I am a half glass full person. But even yesterday, I was a little bit down for a third. Happy Hammer, it was deflated. I didn't want that crappy cup anyway. Who wants the FA Cup? Exactly. We've got bigger fish to fry. We've got the Europa League and the Premier League. The double is still on. Or the treble, including the Betway Cup success. Despondent. Nice word, Happy Hammer. Very good. Annoyed. In a bad mood. Worrying. Not good. Not good, is it? It's not good in the hood at the moment. But anyway, just as a little side note, if anyone's follows Budgie Green Street Elite, I've sat down with Budgie for about an hour the other day, and I did an interview that'll be on live, I think 7 o'clock tonight. So get on to Green Street Elites and watch that. I'll be on live, so to speak, commenting as well. So yeah, it's a good interview. Talks about, he asks about why I'm a West Ham fan. We talk about my favourite moments, my favourite players. Anton's done it already. It's a lovely interview, if I say so myself, although Budgie's camera broke down, so Budgie will look like he's permanently just surprised while I'm very animated. But anywho, can't be helped. So come win, lose or draw, we do the we do the debrief, and so we go through it. We'll go through what David Moyes said in the post-match press conference. We go through the ratings, and then that's it. Then we draw a line and move on. We haven't got time to dwell too much on it, have we really? Because we've got Liverpool on Saturday, and then we've got Seville next week. Next week's going to be a busy week on the network. So obviously we've got this Liverpool game, and then on the Monday. We haven't got anything Monday, no, I don't think it's at the moment. And then Tuesday, we've got Scott Minto doing a live Q&A. Wednesday, we've got the preview for the Seville game. Thursday, we've got Seville. 3,000 West Ham fans over in Seville. Lovely. Can't wait. Can't wait to see them. Time for Moyes to go and bring in another forward, a manager that can take the club forwards, Michael. I don't think it's going to happen now, mate, to be honest. Afternoon, Adam. Adam, we've been through a lot worse, haven't we? Do you remember all those... back at Upton Park, do you remember those save our season matches where we'd have to play Wigan or whatever and we'd always lose? Don't forget, we've gone for a lot worse. And if it's to not progress to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, it's not about getting relegated as well. It's starting to fill up my half glass full. As you know, I'm usually optimistic, Russ, but this game has raised a big concern that I've tried to ignore, and I feel it smacked me in the face. There we go. Was Cresswell injured or just... Let's talk about that now. Let's talk about David Moyes' post-match press conference. He actually did some stuff with the club, like a post-match press interview with the club, and he was livid. And he went for like a black T-shirt and black sort of suit, very much suave and sophisticated. Old Mr. Moyes looked yesterday. Anyway... Let's go full screen. What were your thoughts on the performance at the start of a big month? It's a huge month this month for us, as you know. Disappointing. I thought we had opportunities long before they scored the goal to be in front, but lacked quality in the final third. I thought our build-up play and our play in the main was okay. We had chances to be in front and then went behind to a worldie of a goal. I did not see that coming, and it put us on the back foot a bit. And I think that to me was a fair reflection, I thought. I thought the first 25 minutes, I thought we played all right. I think we was playing some nice football. Looked quite fluid. I quite liked it. And then that goal just took the wind out of our sails. And then we never really recovered. And then the second half started again and we got the goal back and then the penalty. And then so it's almost like we were playing well and then it just went back to zero and had to build it up again. And we couldn't do it after that second goal went in, I thought. But I thought until the first goal, I thought we were better than Southampton, I think, to be honest. The game did not change when you brought on Ben Ryan. No, there was no change. We tried, and at one each, it looked like there was going to be only one team winning it. But we made a terrible mistake defensively, which gave them a chance to get back in front. I agree that we are lacking in quality in the final third of the field, and that's what he said in the West Ham official interview. He was saying we just lacked any quality up front at all today. And, the build-up play was there. The balls are coming across, but it's just that final ball or that shot. Just couldn't do it. I don't know what was on. It's just ridiculous, I thought, yesterday, in terms of how many positions Ben Johnson got into and Fornals where they crossed the ball just to no one. And there's some good crosses going in there. And there were some opportunities. Jared Bowen had one where he should have hit the target from about 6 yards. Dawson had one. Soucek had one from outside just inside the box. He should have at least hit the target. Ben Johnson, he almost hit the target, but it was just very frustrating. Anyway, what else have we got? Any issues with the penalty decision or the challenge on Thomas Soucek? And how is he? He says, I've not seen either of them back. My first thought was, I did not think it was a penalty, and I've not seen anyone say anything different at the moment. But my feeling is it was not. But until I look at it again, I cannot tell you what I think. Well, I think it was a penalty. I mean, on the live stream, we're like, wow, fantastic tackle from Dawson, great tackle. And then when we saw it in slow motion, we're like, oh, he didn't tackle him. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And then VAR got called, and then he had to go and see the screen. And once he sees the screen, you know it's going to happen. You know what's going to happen in it. Unfortunately, so. When he asked Antonio got a goal, is that the positive from tonight? He says, we are pleased for him. He got that goal, but we have other players who need to find some quality and start to make the right decisions in the final third. Competing completing passes and making the right choices in the final third. I do not know how many times we made the wrong choice in and around the box and it cost us tonight. That's exactly what we were saying just before. The amount of times we were in and around the box, but it's that final pass. Very poor. Any update on Thomas Souček's cut? They tell me it's a nasty wound and he has had some stitches, but I've not had a chance to speak to the medical team yet. It was a very nasty cut. Brave soldier he is. You showed you could create chances, but could not finish them. How can you address it? We will keep doing what we're doing, and to do the best we can. We build up well and got good opportunities, but our finishing and the final pass was so poor. It was indeed. Aaron Cresswell and Noble were not in the squad. How are they? They have injuries, and it was a blow to miss them tonight. I thought Issa played well as anyone, as well as anybody tonight. Playing slightly out of position, and I thought he did a very good job. Is Cresswell in contention for Liverpool? Happy Hammerette, Ludders, listen out. He will be in contention. He will be in contention for the Liverpool game. So arrest your fears. Mo, hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. I thought the first half we played quite well. With a bit of luck, we could have been 3 up. Robert, I totally agree. I thought we played quite well until I thought there was some movement. I thought Lanzini and Fornals were playing quite well together. In terms of there was some zip, a little bit ticky-tacky. It's quite nice. And then that goal just took the wind out of our sails. As you said, another night we could have been 3 up. But we always say that at the moment now, and we're not now. It's like we've always said, oh, we were unlucky. There comes a point where it's not unlucky, it's just a lack of quality, isn't it, unfortunately? And Moyes alluded to it. To be honest, I wouldn't want to go out, so I would have wanted to go out so we can concentrate on Europe. That's what people say. But in essence, it's only another game, really, the quarters. And who knows if we don't have a good couple of weeks in with Seville, we could be out of Europe anyway, and then we've just got the Premier League to worry about. So, in terms of finishing as high as possible, lacking in quality, fair play, but how about lacking in the bench that we can change the game? What's the point of having the youngsters being there 10 minutes to go and losing? Fair enough, Happy Hammerette. Fair enough. I totally agree. What's the point of having them there if you're not going to? You all knew. Also, if Yama wasn't obviously travelling to Poland to pick up his wife and daughter, wife and child rather, from escaping Ukraine, he would have been probably in the squad by all accounts. And he would have probably been the third. There's 5 substitutes. Do you know what I mean? He's thinking towards the end, even with 3-1 net. I know they got that third goal, but you thought, just throw them on. And then when we need them, they won't have had. It'll be like the Odebeko situation where we brought him on for the Man United game, then took him off again because he wasn't ready. Well, how are they going to be ready unless you give them minutes? It's like a double-edged sword. You want to give them minutes so they can improve and make a difference. But if they don't play well, there's got to be a period of time where you've got to go, right, we're assuming that they need the minutes, but they're not going to play particularly well, and then bring them on. I don't know. It was a penalty on my screen, said Mo. It's worrying that was our best team and we weren't able to win. Bad final pass just cost us, and Southampton just controlled the second half. I totally agree. I met John Moncur at the Wolves game. Good old John. He had a lovely... Did John eat dinner? On Wolves game? We had a Sunday dinner at about silly o'clock, about 11 o'clock. I know Kenny ate. I think John had a pie. We missed Cressy. I hope it was an injury. It seems he had an injury, but he'll be back in contention for the Liverpool game. So we'll see. Keeping Rice for another season is vital if the club wants to move. Keep their foothold in Europe. If he leaves in the summer, the window for moving up to a top 6-7 club will be closed. Possibly. You saw the disappointment in Declan's face. It's... I was having this debate with someone the other day, actually, because they were like, Champions League, we're going to be Champions League. To be honest, I think, we've had situations before where we've jumped before we could... No, we've run before we could walk, or something like that. And I think, actually, establishing ourselves in the top 6, top 7 is more important for the long term. I know consistency is the key, but it's not necessarily sexy and attractive to be in the top, because you're not in the Champions League, but... We've never had consistency. So what's the point of being in the Champions League next year and keeping Declan Rice? And they say in the following year, we're in relegation. Because that happens with West Ham and historically throughout the years. It's not being pessimistic. It's looking at the data. And So for me, it's about reversing that trend and being consistently, even if it's consistently in the top 10. Do you know what I mean? And it's like we're pushing for that Europa League place, and then a few years of that. I mean, that's what he did at Everton. You know, every year he built them up, and every year he was in the Europa League sort of hunt. And then one year he got into the Champions League, and to be honest, it could have been last year easily. You know, one win. You know, if we'd let the Arsenal game not slip from 3-1 up or whatever it was, and went to 3-3, and they took a draw. Those 2 points would have been in the Champions League. Must have been bad for him to come off. It looked very bad, didn't it, to be honest? May have been a pen, but I think Brozier fouled Dawson before they got near the box. Well, it is what it is, and it's West Ham, isn't it? Souček is a warrior. 64% pass rate though went on. Yeah, his passing wasn't on point, was it? To be fair, we expected this off. I mean, we knew he was going to come. We knew there was going to be a lull, didn't we? To be honest, Michael. Any news on Soufal? Well, there was a picture. He had a picture on his Instagram of him and his child watching the game. For a hernia operation, it's going to be a few weeks out for sure. I think the player elbowed Souček and was even booked, and we lost a good player thereafter. We certainly did. I thought Diop done okay, and Antonio was better. He was better. Moyes and the board had to see this coming. To be honest, it's so frustrating. To be honest, Decker's a world class player. What must he be thinking? If I'm him, I'm out of here. It's sad. Do we know it was up with Fredericks? Fredericks has a groin injury. Well, it's reported last week he had a groin injury. What's happened to our fullbacks? 6 out of 7. I know, they're all injured. We've only got Ben Johnson, really. And Cresswell sort of, kind of. Normal service has been resumed, indeed. Deck looked more frustrated than I think I've ever seen him last night. Let's just hope the team can lose the funk and smash them at Anfield. That's the thing now. Now with so many games, one after the other, we've pretty much 2 games a week. What have we got? Where's my... have I still got my thing? Where's my March Madness? Where's my March... Oh, I've deleted it, obviously, because I was mad. So, we've got, obviously, Liverpool, then we've got Seville, then we've got the game on the Sunday. Aston Villa, I think. And then we go back to Seville, and then Seville. No, it's not Aston Villa. I can't remember anyway. But basically, we've got 2 game weeks now for the next few weeks, and then after that, then there's the international break. So we never return back from an international break well. So we need to get something going. That's for sure. That was a foul on Souček and should have been sent off. How can you be allowed to throw? Well, I don't think, Adam, it was a. I don't think he had control of his arm where he knew he wasn't even looking at him. I don't think he's that clever to have done that, to be honest. Apparently, we'll be back in contention on Saturday. We're not playing Sunday, we're playing Saturday, aren't we? With Liverpool. We've got Liverpool, Seville, Villa, Seville, and then Spurs coming up. Well, I'm not being funny. Bar the Villa game, if you can't be up as a player for playing Seville in Seville, and then in the and then back at London Stadium, and then playing Liverpool at Anfield, and then playing Spurs at their ground, if you can't be up for those games, you shouldn't be a football player. You shouldn't be a football player. So hopefully that we'll see some difference. I mean, the performance-wise, as I said, it's about getting the first goal. You know what I mean? It's like, I think that Southampton game yesterday, if we'd scored the first goal, we'd have won that game. We would have won that game, I reckon, because also the quality, I mean, they got more into it, they got more encouragement because we weren't scoring, we were getting into the box, in and around the box, but just not finishing it off. It's very frustrating. I'll take a 1-0 at Anfield with Noble scoring a 96-minute penalty. No might be playing, who knows? Playing almost like a full-strength side yesterday, so we'll see. Souček was sent off for less. He was, but it was rescinded. Evening, Lucas. Evening? Whereabouts? Oh, so are you in the States, isn't it? Evening? It's afternoon here, Lucas, my friend. It's only afternoon. It's morning over there where you are. Easy games. Exactly, Sharky, easy. Right, let's do my ratings. As I said, we didn't do the ratings last night due to technical difficulties, and I just had enough. I'll be honest, just had enough. Wanted to just... I've still got this bloody cold anyway. So Areola, let's start with Areola and get your scores in the chat anyway. So it'll be good. I mean, there's a school of thought. Did he have a chance with that first goal? I think it was he wasn't expecting it. I think the ferocity of the shot as well. That's a good word, ferocity. He just didn't have the chance, I don't think, to get there. in time. But I mean, apart from that, adequate. He did very well. There's a back pass that Diop did in the second half, which could have easily gone in. So he had to sort of like chest it. He did very well to not let anything happen with that one. So I put Areola down for a 6. Russ, it's not a matter of the players being up for it. Are they good enough is the question. I think application, I think effort and application come hand in hand. I think, if you're really trying hard and you're really having a go, then we can forgive you if you're not very good. But it's when you don't try, that's the issue. So anyway, that's the way I see it. But everyone's entitled to their own opinions, aren't they? But I think you would naturally want to be up for it, and that will lead you over the line sometimes, particularly towards the end of the game, if you're really up for it. So it's about application and effort. 6, so don't blame me, I don't blame myself. There are a few that are very doubtful, but I don't want to hate on certain players. No, exactly. Areola 6, you did that in the penalty box. They would give a penalty, but all the worries around head injuries, it needs to be highlighted. Fair play, Adam. Yep. 7 from Happy Amaret. Ludders has given him a 6. Stewart's a 5. 6, not great, but he didn't really have much to do, to be honest, apart from get the ball out the back of the net. He came and claimed quite a lot. The one thing that annoys me about him is he punches it very high up in the air, but not very far. The amount of times he punched it, and it just went up really. I was like, it's a great punch, but it literally just goes outside the box. You think with his power, he'd be able to punch it a lot further. But anyway, just nitpicking. I put him down for a 6. Right, let's move on to Benny Boy Johnson. I mean, to be honest, the way the team was set up, he pretty much was our right-sided attack and defence, really, because Bowen was not a great game for Bowen, but he was quite non-existent on that right-hand side, I thought, for large chunks of particularly in the first half. He got forward quite well. I thought he did. But then I think he looked tired towards the match because he had so much space and was doing so much running in the first half that I don't think he, because he was covering so much ground in the first half, I think he knackered himself out a bit, to be honest. And the second half wasn't that great, which is probably when we actually needed him. But he, got into the box, tried to get in, and he had a good shot, cut inside, had a good shot in the second half, in the second half. And I've been down for a 5. Which maybe is a bit harsh, but there we go. Michael's gone for a 5, so Michael agrees. Sharky's a 6, Ludders is a 7. Just got back from Southampton. God, did you walk? Did you walk, my friend? Sorry, that was terrible. Should have been 2 up before they scored. Indeed. Johnson 6. To be honest, our squad is paper thin. Then January comes, no activity. Moyes has done wonders with his team. They've hit their limit. They're tied. Yeah, I think they're knackered. I think they are knackered, to be honest. And I know you want to work with a small squad, but sometimes it just doesn't work. If you just on the Premier League front, I think you get away with it. But it's when you've got the added games on top. 6, 5. At the time I was fuming at Brozier, having the full cheek to protest. He pulled to gain and did not show that. Look, he's a bastard player, but I'd like him to be our bastard, to be honest. Anyway, Johnson. Let's go on to Dawson. Speaking of Dawson, I mean, obviously they played the back 3, and he was on the right side, so he didn't really have much. To be honest, he looked reasonably comfortable in the first half, but when they brought Brozier on, he struggled. He struggled with Brozier. That's fair enough. I think it's fair to say. Obviously, the penalty was totally his fault, and Moyes basically alluded to that as well. He said that basically, he name-checked him. Dawes shouldn't have given him an opportunity to get into that position. Once that happened, it was him. And so it was totally his fault. Obviously, we thought it was a fantastic tackle he did in the first time, and then it slowed down and showed on VAR. It was clearly a foul. If he was fouled beforehand. But there's not really much we can do about that, unfortunately. It's VAR. And the referee's decision is final, or VAR's decision, or both decision is final, to be honest. So I put him down for a 5. I don't think he had his best game at all, but he'll come back fighting. Dawson 5, 7 from Ludders, 6 from Sharky, 6. I thought it was quality the way Rice spun that play around and dumped him on his arse after the shirt putting fiasco indeed. Dawson 5. James, hope you're well. Oh, well, it's only a 10-pot joke. The double is still on. I totally agree. Good afternoon, Simon. 8? 8? Fair enough. Door 6. Russ, what does the t-shirt say? It says Old School FC. It's Kaz Pennant's brand. It's good stuff. Nice. Very good. Very good quality. Very good quality t-shirt. English Yardie 5. What was the score? Simon, it was 3-1. And Chelsea just scraped through, didn't they? Against Luton Town. Well done. VAR will be in all games, or not all games, although I'd say you haven't got it, should not be in the FA Cup. I agree with that, Lowe's. I think you're right. I think it should be the same playing field for all, really, shouldn't it? So, take that Chelsea game, for example, with Chelsea-Luton. If Luton had played at Stamford Bridge, VAR would be in play. But because they didn't, VAR wasn't in play. So therefore, Chelsea may have got a goal which would have been chalked off to VAR, or vice versa. Luton might have got one, which actually at Stamford Bridge would have been flipped. I don't agree. I don't agree with having it if it's available. I don't think you should. I think it should be a level playing field. Same as the Premier League. Everyone in the Premier League's got it. Everyone in the Championship hasn't got it. League 1, League 2, they don't have it. So it's not affected. Mr. Gamer's watching my beloved. You certainly were. Hi everyone. Hope everyone's good. Shame about yesterday's transfer decisions coming back to bite us in the bum, but massive games coming up. Pick us up and go again. You're totally right, Happy Hammer rather. So that's why we are just zooming through all this very, very quickly, and then that's the last we'll talk about it. Zuma, I thought he was strong, very strong. He obviously got absolute abuse from the home supporters, as you can imagine, which was great. But I just thought he had a solid game in that centre and cleared up a lot of shit, which is what he does. And he does it very, very well. Solid game. Actually, I have him down as a 7. Sorry, it should have been a 7. I have him down as a 7, not as a 6. We've got 7, 7. We've got 7, 8, 7, 6, 7. Afternoon, Rich, hope you well. 7, 8. So 7s and 8s and a few 6s. Right, let's move on to the next one. Diop, obviously playing in the left of a back 3, which was interesting, and then played pretty much left back second half when they moved the team around a little bit. Thought he played okay. Obviously it's been Dawson and Zuma as a pairing, and he's come in. Thought he acquitted himself quite well. A couple of times he could come forward a little bit, which was nice to see. But a couple of times he could have gone forward a bit more, but he didn't. Dodgy back pass to Areola in the second half, which he apologised for straight away. Always has a mistake in him, I think, with Diop as well. I'm always worried about Diop at times, but I put him down for a 6. I thought he had a competent game. I thought out of the 3 of them, Zuma was the best out of the 3. But that's my opinion. 7s. Completely agree with you, Russ, about VAR. If teams then vote. Exactly, yep. 7 from Lucas, 7 from Ludd, 7 for Sharky, 7 from Stewart. He could have been an easy 4 if I didn't chest that diabolical clearance. Exactly, that's what I was saying. 7, so maybe I'm a little bit harsh on that one. I'll give you that one. 6 English Yardie, 7 could have played a less say more mobile. And also, to be fair, Happy Hammer as well, when we needed him to go to a back 4, Alese would have been the better option because he plays left back, and we haven't got many left backs. We haven't got many full backs, as someone said in the chat. I think we've got, out of all 7 available left backs, left and right backs in terms of full backs, only one of them is technically fit, and that's being Ben Johnson. Or technically, Gresh will be back for the next game, but he's more of a, I wonder if he'll play 3 at the back next week. On Sunday, exactly. Who knows? Anyway, let's move on. 4 nows. To be honest, I think he looks at home on this left wing back position. I think he looks great. He helps out of defence. He's always there for the out ball on the left hand side, and so obviously he's got that attacking nature as well. And he must be. I haven't looked at the stats, but he must have covered some ground yesterday. I really think he's making this position his own. It's incredible. Sometimes he didn't. I think I've seen a 0 completion on dribbling yesterday or something like that. But I thought he played quite, particularly in the first half. I thought he played very well. And obviously he was taken off second half. But or towards the end, 75 minutes, something like that. So I put him down as a 6. I thought he played all right. I thought actually, again, in a position that he's not used to playing, he played well against Wolves in that position, very well. He man the match, in my opinion, against Wolves, and I thought he played well again. And actually, that's what you need sometimes. I remember interviewing, chatting to Ray Stewart once, and we were talking about, I think it was towards the end of last season as well, and he was saying, I said, we've got a few injuries and and obviously he played all across the back four in that 85-86 season, and I said, is it a problem? He goes, no, but he says, John Lyall, big to me. If I was playing left back, he'd make me believe I was the best left back in the country. If I was playing centre back, I was the best centre back in the country, and I was ready to run for a brick wall. I was thinking that was that good, and that's what it is when players play in different positions. It shows you the strength of a manager. And I know there's a lot of criticism about Moyes and his transfer handlings, but as a manager, he's converted several players into better players. And Fornals he's done twice, really, because we bought him as a 10, really, when Pellegrini signed him as a 10, and then Moyes converted him into this sort of box-to-box midfielder, and now he's put him on the left wing-back position. And he hasn't looked shabby in either positions, to be honest. So, and I know, I'll probably get pelters for saying about, Moyes and stuff, but the facts are, he's done all right there, and he's done it a couple of times, and he'll only do that. Players only do that if the manager believes in them. And so, anyway, rant over. Declan Rice, quiet. To be honest, their midfield, apart from JWP, wasn't great. And I thought he controlled it reasonably well, particularly in the first half. But it wasn't his usual standards. A few, you could see he was frustrated by the game. It seemed they were bypassing Deck quite a bit against trying to. There was clearly a game plan on our side. The wing backs were really wide all the time, and sometimes it missed out. That it sort of stretched that game in the midfield, so he got a little bit over. And I think sometimes I've actually down for a 6, which means it's not a great game. I don't think he had a particularly great game, to be honest. But there we go. Michael's got to go back to work anyway. Have a great rest of the day. Don't forget to watch the rest of it afterwards, and then watch Hammer's headlines. I think Anton's doing it later on. So 7. I heard Stell left to follow his documentary making dreams. At first is rumoured to be at home with the Masuakus. Well, I look forward to seeing that one. 7s, 6 compared to his normal play, and I think that's fair enough. He set the bar, really, isn't he? 8 tried his best to get us out of the ship, but he couldn't manage it alone. Couldn't do it like last time, like Kidderminster, could he? Unfortunately, he couldn't hammer it. Right, let's move on. Tommy Souček. Obviously, he had to go off at 54 minutes because someone basically cut his face open. By all accounts, in terms of post-match, Moyes was saying that he had to have stitches, and it was a bit of a nasty one. He was meant to be doing something today with one of my friends, and he's been pulled out of that, so I can imagine that's probably why as well. But yeah, so he's been... Yeah, it's a shame. As I said, not very good pass. I think Happy Amaret, 64%, something like that. Good opportunity in the first half, but he scuffed it and should have done a lot better. So I put him down as a 5, which I feel horrible putting players. But we call them, if they play well, we give them, if they don't play well, we say they don't play well. It's not a dig at anyone. It's just on a per game basis. Souček's 5, 6, 5 from Lucas, Warrior, but play wasn't great at all regardless. 5 from Happy Amaret, 5 from Stewart, 5 from English Yardie, 6. Do you reckon it'll be okay for Saturday? I would imagine so. It's a facial injury, so it'll be. He was stitched up. And then I imagine he'll be back. He'll be all right for the game on Saturday. You've seen people break their orbital bone or they've broken something and they wear a mask or whatever. So I imagine it'll be all right. He'll just have a massive sort of, do you remember it was the Tottenham game? Was it Tottenham game? Where he sort of got his head in the ball when someone kicked it and he got, I don't know. Glue him and get him out there. Exactly, Happy Emirate. What's he moaning about? It's only a little cut. Lanzini. Speaking of Happy Emirate, let's talk about Lanzini. I thought he played quite well. I thought he linked the midfield to the attack in the first half particularly. And obviously second half, he dropped into that deeper role, which shows his versatility, which is great, which gives you options. But dropped into that sort of deeper role, which can suit him when the oppositions are right. And I think we looked to him to try and conjure up some stuff, and it just wasn't clicking. And it's been the same, like it's a broken record, literally not clicking. Things aren't clicking. The amount of times yesterday we passed the ball cross field and it's behind the player running, so they have to check their run rather than just in front. There was once, I remember in the first half, I think it was, the ball comes across and he went straight to Ben Johnson's feet. Perfect. And he got it out from his feet lovely and slashed the shot, and it was just wide. But it's because it was to his feet and just in front, so he could run onto it and keep the momentum of the attack going. I put him down as a 6. What we got? Manu 7. Oh, of course he'll be. He's a turn up, and Happy America give him a 7. Or give him 1. Innit? Not just 7, you'd give him 1, wouldn't you? Lanzini 5. Souček gets at least 1 face injury a season. Tick, done it for the season. Lanzini 6, 7, 6, 6. No bias, of course. 6 for Keith. 6 for Mandy. And Happy Amrit is just daydreaming there. Right, let's move on. Bowen, not a great game. Maybe his worst game for us, I reckon. Maybe he's the worst game for us this season. I don't know. He didn't play very well. Wasn't very effective, I thought. Little impacts in the game. He just couldn't impact the game the way he would do. And I think that's the flip side. I think, obviously he was playing more centrally, more up front with Antonio, which is great. But then what you gain for that, you lose in his wing play and coming off the side. I thought he didn't have a great game at all. I put him down for a 5. What we got here? Marshall says, see you at Anfield. Big game for the Reds. You never walk alone. Look forward to it, Marshall. We'll look forward to it. A good game. Oh, blimey, Governor, indeed. Big up the West Ham family. Thank you, Marshall. Lanzini 5. Bowen 4. 6 from Lucas. A ghost. 6 from Bowen. 5 from Sharky. Bowen was poor, says Robert. Bowen 4. Bowen 5. 6 from Lauren. 4 from Stuart compared to his normal self. Again, sets himself as a high standard. So if he doesn't reach that standard, then he gets criticised for it. Bowen's fire has gone out a little bit. It's been dampened a little bit, innit? It's like it was a gas fire and it was on 10. It's about a 7 at the moment. Hope it doesn't get any lower. Southampton did the job on us. They did. Lauren, good afternoon to you. Simon's lunch for anyone, just to break up the monotony, is an egg and cheese sandwich, sausage roll, pepperoni, string cheese, salt and vinegar crisps, a petit filou orange down with a nice glass of peach squash. The king of all the squashes is Robinson's peach squash. Worst game for us, if not in it. Worst game, not in it at all, indeed. I want an antibiotic chaser for a wisdom tooth infection. There we go. Thank you, Simon. Let's move on to Antonio himself. Scored, which was good. Scored a striker's goal, really, inside the box. Fair play. But, and he kept on drifting out. What frustrates me is he puts in really dangerous balls for someone who should be in the middle. And that should be him. And that really worries me at times. Obviously, he ended his 6-game goal drought, which was good for him, the close range effort. And hopefully that will give him a bit more confidence. I just thought he just was there. Do you know what I mean? He was just there. I wasn't really... At least at Wolves, he was bustling and knocking people about, and you say Antonio's first touch is so good that his second touch is usually tackling the opposition, and it was like that. And what frustrates me again is the throw-ons. We never seem to secure possession from a throw-on. How many times we threw it up to Antonio, who would head it to a Southampton player? Just throw it back. Just throw it back to the fullback or the wing-back. And start again, or the centre back, and start again. You don't have to throw everything forward. So I put him down for a 6. I thought Bowen had a worse game than, to be honest. in terms of, but then Bowen has set himself such high standards. What we got? I would play Bowen central midfield. Hi everyone, just watched the chat and missed most of the game due to trouble accessing BBC iPlayer, so I won't give any player ratings. Fair enough. So we got here Antonio 6. Sell Antonio in the summer, said Epic hash time. Antonio's strong 6, had some phenomenal crosses. Exactly, Lucas. Great crosses, but he's meant to be the person on the end of the crosses. His touch and general play at times is terrible. I mean, Antonio can play from a 4 to a 9 in the game. You know, it's like that Wolves game. He played probably about 7 until the 80th, 7 or 8, I reckon, 80th minute. Bosh. To a 3. You know what I mean? Antonio 7, but we've had no half points in this game, Thunder and Joy. Antonio 2 for scoring, and he's not anywhere near a striker. We know that. Southampton is our bogey team to be season. Plus, we play them one more time, I think, away. We certainly do we? I can't remember. Antonio 7 from Hammerettes. 6 from English Yardie was rubbish. Better than Bowen yesterday, indeed. Technically, not a good player. He isn't, Keith. If we go for the subs quickly, Ben Rama came on 54 minutes, obviously for Soucek, and obviously then the team had to change position, not change position, but people had to move into different positions. Lanzini moved into the deep line role, and I think Ben Rama sort of took up a Lanzini sort of number 10 role. There was one point where he lost the ball and he just turned around and the camera zoomed and Moyes, he just went absolute sick at him. I think we maybe rely too much on him. A bit similar to when we had. Remember when Lanzini was like coming back from injury and he came on the pitch and everyone thinks he comes on as a sub. This is until recently because he's found his sort of groove a little bit. But until recently, he'd come on, particularly like the last few seasons, and we'd all be excited, like, oh, here we go, this is the one, this is our jewel in the crown, this is our little jewel, and nothing transpired, and you know, so we almost heaping too much pressure on him, and I think that's the same with a few of these players, and particularly on the bench. You know, if the team aren't playing well, it's going to take some talent to come on and transform a game. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, Moyes was called out. They said, you know, him and Blasic came on, made little impact. They did, but it's not their fault. It's not their fault at all. The fact was the team weren't playing well. So it's like, you know, you're coming in and, you know, if the team are playing like shit, the chances are, unless you are Messi or Payet potentially would have done that to come on and change your game. But there's very few people in the world who do that. And so I put him down for a 6 because he didn't do much. Didn't do much at all. What we got here? 5s, 4s, 5s, 3s. Maybe feel for him, but it's frustrating. Doesn't keep the ball. Yeah, but I suppose he's trying to do stuff with the ball, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's trying to do stuff with the ball, and that's the frustrating thing. Because you can see it, and obviously that's his game. That's what he's been brought in for. I mean, at Brentford, he played in the sort of in the 4-3-3 formation, so it's a lot more open. But that was Brentford. This is the Premier League. It's a different type of game. You know, I can't think of maybe Liverpool play with 3 up front. Not many teams do now. And so again, it's a similar thing to Haller, really, isn't it? It's like I think you're playing a round peg in a square peg in a round hole, and I think that might be the same with Ben Rama. I don't know if he's got a position in the way that Moyes plays. And it's no disrespect to Ben Rama, he could easily go to Ajax like Haller did and score an absolute hat full of goals. But I just don't think he fits in this situation, the way we're playing, the type of game we're playing, and that's no disrespect to him at all because he's a fantastic player. We know there's a good player there. Ben Rama 5, Moyes 1 because he let the team down during the window. 2 lightweights. Don't worry, win the Euro. Yeah, exactly, Jelly. Champions League, isn't it? What are we worrying about? Just think what the place ratings will be in the next 2 games. 1, 2s and 2s in the cards. No, we'll start playing like we did in November. Well, you never. Look, Pete, we just don't know, do we, man? Don't know. Benny 3, what happened to the Ben Ryan we saw in pre-season the last few games? Very open. I think the game was open, particularly pre-season. There's no structure, you know, and he plays well in an unstructured format. You know, he's a baller, isn't he? Give him the ball and but when he's hounded and I just think it's the wrong. I just think that the way we play doesn't suit him as a player, and I think that's why we sort of don't criticise him, but that's why he's always seen, because he gives the ball away. But I think if you're playing an expansive game of football already, you probably don't necessarily see that because everyone's losing the ball, if that makes sense. Because we play the game so tight. I think that's why. But anyway, just my opinion. And Vlasic didn't really do much. And he came on with like 15 minutes to go. A 5. That's what it is. Just a 5, really. Not really much there, to be honest. He tries Russ, be good. He makes the right decision. Didn't he play left wing for Brentford? He did, but he played left wing of a 3, didn't we, Mandy? That's what I'm trying to say. In the same way that Haller was brought on as a target man in a 3 as well. Actually, to be honest, you'd probably play Haller and Ben Rama and Bowen as a 3. You'd probably get an absolute crap full of goals. How can you be giving the same score as Antonio? You're joking. Well, I mean, I don't compare like for like. I compare their performances. So I thought Ben Rama came on and he tried, but that's why I have a different opinion to you, and that's why the world's a wonderful place, Thunder. We seem like to play like we've just met most of the games these days. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. We play Southampton in September, 0-0 on Boxing Day. We don't have to play them again, thank God. We certainly don't. Gutted because I want to see Ben Rama succeed. Vlasic got to be tried up front. Will he? When's he going to do it? Ain't going to do it for Seville. Ain't going to do it for either Seville games. Ain't going to do it against Liverpool away. So the only time he could have done it would have been yesterday, to be honest. I can see Benny going back to Brentford for 20 million and probably absolutely tearing up. But then look at Ivor Toney as well. Ivor Toney came in at the beginning of the season, absolutely tore it up, smashing the goals, and we were like, oh, we should have got this guy, we should have got this guy. And he was non-existent. He got found out. Same as Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins came in and hit the ground running. He hasn't scored a hatful of goals this season, has he, really? It's that first season wonder, and I just think it's just horrible. Moyes has ruined Ben Rama. I don't think he's ruined him, but I just don't think he thinks he doesn't suit this formation in the same way that Haller didn't suit the Moyes formation. Why have all the goals dried up? I think they've always been dried up, but usually we're not letting them in so much at the other end, and so it's not so obvious. Like the Wolves game, we should have been 3-4 up. Really, that Wolves game, the way we were playing, and we were 1-0, and vice versa. And I just think it's the accumulation of time, isn't it, really? But, I mean, Bowen's goals have dried up a little bit. Soucek's got 4. Last season he had 10, so he may be getting 7 by the end of the season, maybe. Benny should play left wing. But again, it's setting up the formation for him to play left wing, isn't it? And at the moment, if you play back 3 of the wing backs, you haven't got that option. That's the trouble. Moyes wanted Ben Rama to be a team player. And again, it's like, but someone like Payet. I mean, I can't remember Payet chasing back and tackling people. There's certain people who you play who are, and it's like someone mentioned it the other day about Jesse Lingard, and Jesse was given license to not retreat. That's bullshit. I was at every home game, and I saw Jesse Lingard bust guts to get back into positions when maybe Soufal had run forward. Bust the gut to get back into right back. He did a lot of running off that ball, but you wouldn't necessarily see it because the telly wasn't tracking the non-runners; they were tracking the ball. So I think it's he wasn't given a free run at all at that time. Has Benny lost a bit of confidence due to constant substitutions? Possibly. Moyes at times has a defeatist look about him. That's what's annoying about I'm not looking forward to Liverpool, to be honest. Moyes gets a 0. There we go. Afternoon GP. Disappointing, but we have Seville. Exactly. We can't dwell. We can't dwell on it. After the day, I'm not talking about Southampton at all. I'm going to move on and get ready for Liverpool and get excited, and then disappointment at the Liverpool game, then get excited for the Seville game, and then get disappointed. But that's what being an optimistic West Ham's all about, every season I wake up thinking this is going to be our season. Every season, come July, I'm thinking that's it. This is it. And 99% of the time, it's not. To be fair, Moyes had 5 full-backs and 6 out. He tried with back 3 to compensate, but we needed 4 nows in the middle. I quite like Fornals at left wing back. I would have preferred, instead of Diop, to see a Lesse there, as someone mentioned, because actually he would have, if went to the back four, he would have been better suited to get forward. Is a central midfield player. At least can make a ball control. Can Antonio? Good point, Zalia. Yeah, but it's not. That's only one facet of the game, isn't it? But you're totally right. Could be that he needs to take note of Bowen's season after being subbed so much. Exactly. Last year, Bowen was a substitution personal. He got subs a lot of times last season as well. Rarely made a 90 minutes last season. He was a sub person, and this year it's Ben Rama. Wrong subs made for Moyes. Vlasic on for Soucek and Ben Rama on for. Although did not want, he did wrong. Yeah, I know what you mean. Not using youngsters, he's starting to piss me off. I don't understand why you have them. Why have a bench full of them when you never play them? Great chance to give some of the players game time against Southampton B. And we need to give them time because they may have to be involved now. Brentford will not give us 20 million. They saw that us coming. Considering out of West Ham, find another scapegoat. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I don't think it's worked. And unless it can work, who knows? Tactically asking for a skill to bust the gut to run backwards is bonkers. That's what I mean. So it's like you work around that, don't you? You work around it if you have to. But then if that's the case, he has to deliver on that, on the facts of, you can't say you don't have to run back and he's still shit. So it's almost giving him the keys. Or give him not giving him, that's an arsehole, so give him enough rope to hang him, but that's not. But give him enough, give him enough encouragement to do that, and hopefully that will repay you in kind. Are we going to get Lingard on the free? I would hope so. There's a difference between Pyatt and Benrahma. Was top draw. He was. I'd rather us beat Seville than Sailors Southampton. Yep. Is it the end of Kral never used? Well, I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, Lokomotiv Moscow. Obviously, Russian clubs. People are talking about what the players realistically can do. Anton's going to be doing the Hammers headlines. And there's stuff about Vlasic and CSK Moscow and whether we play the next stuff. I'm lucky enough to be an old git and have seen us win stuff. I pity the youngsters who have been so unlucky. Well, I'm one of them. If Antonio gets injured, will Moyes give Okaflex game time? No, will he? He won't, will he? At times he's put Bowen up front, and then Okaflex is not on the bench, or the times where he probably could have got in there. Okaflex, I think, then got COVID or then got injured, so he's been very unlucky, I think, with timings. It's a tactical masterpiece, make Seville think we are shit so we can smash next week. Exactly, for the greater good. Russ, what do you think about Diop playing defensive mid? I don't think he needs to. Mate. But I think they have given him situations. I know they train when they're doing training when he famously was playing up front. There's an option there, but I don't think we need to. Yet. We're not that desperate. Rope, license, tomato. Yeah, you know what I mean. Okaflex could have scored on his birthday given the chances. Maybe. Dawson up front, the new Ian Pearce. Oh, I loved Ian Pearce. You don't have to be a good touch to be a good striker. Has other attributes to his game what other players don't have. Yeah, I mean the physicality, and also just the dogginess. He keeps bloody going, doesn't he? Fair play to him. Anyway, guys, I'm going to shoot. I appreciate all your time as always. Anton will be back for the Hammers headlines tonight. About 5 o'clock that goes up. We have 3 quick stories. If you want to see it early, go onto thingslikemybrand.com and they do put it up early. But he'll be back. And then tomorrow we'll be here for lunchtime. We'll have the press conference reactions, which will be quite interesting, I think. We'll have the preview for the Liverpool game all tomorrow. And then Saturday, Anton will be around for the watch along. And then we get ready for Seville. And as Manny says, like. Be lovely. It'd be lovely if you liked it. With stitches on his forehead, I wouldn't expect Sucho to be. I hasten to disagree. I think he'll be even more so because he'll love it. Cheers, Sahil. Hope you're well. Will you or Stel Anton, whichever? Stel and Anton are going to Seville. I'm not. I haven't got any holiday left, so there we go. Hammerhead, Oyo, Rusty B. Indeed. Anyway. I will see you guys all soon. As I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. I tell you what I will do. Let me quickly just show you the new football prizes video. It's not a bad one. Let me quickly show you that before we go. So that's not a bad one, is it? So you got a Declan Rice signed boot and a Jared Bowen signed boot. Football prizes. I think next week's the draw. It's there. I think about 20 tickets have gone. I think 99 tickets available and all that good stuff. Happy Emirates is happy. Hope you're right, Russ. Thanks for the show. Pick me up. That's what I'm trying to do. It's all doom and gloom. But anyway, a few more comments will go. Where's Lanzini's boot? I know where you'd put it. I like the idea of Anton's on a flight to Spain vlog. Oh, God, no, thank you. Afternoon, Russ. Went to my first away game despite the result. Loved the atmosphere and day out. Do you know if the priority points reset at the end? I have no idea, my friend. Let's relegate the small six and stick West Ham in first base. Sounds great, Greg. On that bombshell, thank you to everyone for joining us. If you've got a spare quid, have a look and go into Iron's Food Banks and donate. Myself and John Ratomski are doing a 17-mile walk in 2 weeks' time. Absolutely shitting myself from Wembley to London Stadium to the bowling, all for the Easter egg appeal. So I really, really appreciate that. And also maybe become a channel member. Hit the join button here and become a channel member. I'd like to thank every one of them at the end of all of my shows. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Come on, you irons. Believe. And dust yourself off and go again. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.
It's like a family tree.